This is the Big O Show. 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 This is the Big O Show.
There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
When you move, you need a reliable company led by passionate folks eager to assist its customers during a transitional process that needs to be smooth. Call Essential Moving Experts at 844-368-5750 for all your local and long-distance moving needs. You can rely on Essential Moving Experts. Mention the Big O Radio Show and get $150 off. Family owned and operated. They offer free 30-day storage, full service moving, fully licensed, bonded, and insured. Moving was never so easy. EssentialMovingExperts.com.
Oh, great. You got a doorbell camera. Now you got a front row seat to your house getting robbed.
No.
And there's nothing you can do about it.
Get out of my house!
Ooh, Mom's jewelry. There goes the TV. I'm sure it'll turn up at the pawn shop.
No!
Just because you can see them, that doesn't mean you can stop them. With Slogans, you get 24-hour monitoring, a free home security system, and professional installation. Plus, a free doorbell camera.
Free?
One that'll actually work for you. It's not total security unless it's the Sloman Shield. Call 1-800-ALARM-ME.
With more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes, Welton Rayum is committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. At Welton Rayum, they don't get paid unless you win. They handle complex personal injury claims caused by the fault of another in both state and federal courts. They handle auto, trucking, motorcycle, slip and fall, and bicycle accidents. Call 954-966-4646. That's 954-966-4646. Welton Rayum can help.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
Viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyAccess.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. It's time for Dolphins football. Welcome to the EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins Pregame Show on the Sports Talk 305 network. The show is mastered by Sean Stanley and Chad Shobe. EJDconstruction.com. Call Eric if you need a custom home builder or general contractor. 305-433-4843. Here's your host, the Big O.
All right, welcome aboard. We are at Walk-Ons in Kendall. Hope you all are doing well. Hope you're feeling good. I know I'm feeling good. What's going on? What's going on? The volume could be. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. You were getting a little feedback. You were getting the feedback. Jazz, a little feedback. Yes. Yes. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful Immutable X morning. That's what that is, baby. Crypto 24/7. That's the beautiful thing. Boy, those of you on the Immutable X train with me, up 18% today, up 151% for the month. That's how I love to wake up to the morning with a new coin exploding. You know, it's just nice. It's nice. It just gets you in a great mood after 2 years of a bear market. I'm constantly talking about it, and people are asking, so how's that crypto? Oh, they don't do that anymore now. Now that it's everything's up and way up and this just started. Now they don't ask me anymore. It's, all you got to do is look at my face, and I'll tell you exactly what's going on. Although you got to admit, Sean, I never flinched. Not one point, no matter how bare the bear market was, and it got bare, I never flinched, okay? Never, not once. Kind of like Tua. Never flinched, ever flinched on Tua. You know, sometimes when you believe in something, you got to have that conviction. You got to stay with it. Right? I said, you know what? I'm a sports talk host. I want to continue to do this. I have the conviction I can continue to do this single day, rocking and rolling. And thanks to you all, of course, supporting us. And please come on out here. We got a whole bunch of giveaways, got stuff from Caneswear, got Perdomo stuff, got Big O shirts. And wait till you see the new shirts that we're in the middle of creating. So that's good stuff. Shirts and hats and all kinds of stuff that we're going to have some fun with. So anyway, so there you go. Fantasy question. Should I play Keenan Allen? Well, dude, Adolfo, you're not giving me total context here. What's your other option? What are they facing? I don't know, dude. You know what I mean? You're like, I would always play Keenan Allen. He's the number one receiver on that team. You know what I mean? And Herbert's going to throw to his ass. Oh, I don't know if he is expected to play without restrictions. That's what Sean looked up for you there, my brother. So I would definitely play him. If that's a fantasy question, should I play Keenan Allen? Is he playing today? Well, you should play him, and he is playing. But again, I don't know what your other options are, my friend.
And that's from NFL.com. I didn't go look for some.
Okay. Right. Yeah, exactly. Yes. Those bogus sites. Good night last night. I enjoyed the Iron Maidens at Piper's Pub. By the way, met some of you out there at Piper's Pub. Very cool. So always approach me, man. I never have a problem. I always love meeting the people that support us. So if you always see me out there on the streets, anybody that once you've met me, it's same thing you get here. You get live in person, same person. There's Steven Gonzalez. There's a guy that I've met several times. You coming down, Steven, today? You coming down? John Padilla is first up. Derek Sibley, yeah. Good weather today, Derek. We got rid of all that rain the last couple of days. That's good. It was good because Lisa Rose was in town. Lisa Rose was the day before yesterday. She met us over at the concert. Yeah. Jay Gelfin was there too. I think Jay's coming by today. He's gonna be by. So Jay's been a big supporter of our show for a long, long time, man, and we always appreciate it. John Padilla, Omar Lopez, Tony Masker, Adolfo, True Fin Fan, Eric Scott, Tom Stocco, Finn's Rule. I'm never going to kick this football habit I have. No, we can't do that. It's impossible. It's in our DNA, dude. Mr. Torres, 78. Jason White is in the UK. Love you, Jason. Thank you, brother. I always love when you guys put where you're at anywhere in the country or in the world watching the show. It's always really cool. No Doubt is in. He says Raiders are toast. This is the best Dolphins team I've seen in 35 years. Easily. I've been saying that for a while now. Sharon Calderon says Jeff in Long Island here. 5-game winning streak starts today. Let's do it. Stephen Harris. Let's go. Miles Deep out in Vegas. And he says, Big O Sean, Miami family, we got to get this win. Fins up. Hurricanes let me down yesterday. Well, the Hurricanes consistently let us down. That's just kind of what they do. Dude 67, Michael Lombardo says, don't sleep on Jay Myers. Dolphins need to shine. We'll talk about Jay Myers. We'll talk about a couple of things on there and the attitude. We're going to address a lot of that stuff over the next couple of hours and have some fun leading you up to the kickoff. Pizza or wings? Dude, it's mood. It's mood. Well, Sean's going to say both. I know that.
Yes.
And yes. I figured that. But I'm going to go with moods. Sometimes I'm in a pizza mood and sometimes I'm in a wings mood. So because I love both. I mean, how do you not love pizza and wings? It's impossible. Does it look like I'm a guy that doesn't really like pizza and wings? Yeah, I probably like a lot of it. So it all depends on the mood. Sometimes I'm in the mood and then, hey, let's go to Deep Papa's. Let's order some Deep Papa's. And sometimes I want to get some wings, It all depends. All depends, baby. Let's see. What else do we have? True Fin Fan says, one thing you can say about this team is trap game. They always beat the teams they're supposed to. I get it. The media is always exaggerating, but the Raiders are not a good team. We will win. And, they're not a good team. They're not. Ragin is in the house. The talented Ragin. Justin Dunker is in. Justin in Rotterdam. Okay. Imagine Ricky Williams on this team. It'd be smoking. Ray Grullon is in. Tony Masker in Sussex County, New Jersey. Tommy Mayer. Finn's Rule says pizza wings. How about wings on pizza? I mean, when Finn's Rule is right, Finn's Rule is right. And yeah, you got it right. It's boneless wings on your pizza. Exactly. You can't separate wings and pizza. They go together. Liver and onions. Neither. Okay. It would be smoking if, of course, it would be. It'd be oozing out from every side, every part of it, all of that. All right. Yes. Oh man. All right. So last night, Louisville defeated the U. Let's get to our 3A graphics sports calendar, and we'll get leading into the game. First of all, last night Louisville defeated UM 38-31, or yesterday afternoon. So Miami drops to 6-5. Basically, you lose next week. It's a failed season. You did not improve at all. You might have improved in talent, but not in coaching. So you better get that 7th win. You need at least 7 or 8 wins. You're not going to get to 8. You better win next week against Boston College. Let me tell you something. Bulls, by the way, defeat the Heat last night, 102-97. So Miami gets their 6-game winning streak, 7-game winning streak snapped. Yeah, 1-4. So 7-game winning streak snapped. They dropped to 8-5. Tomorrow they will take on this same Bulls team at 8:00. So got to get that revenge. And I didn't win last night. I didn't watch, but I did bet it. I put Heat -3.5, and then it went up to -5.5 at one point, and I took it. And I thought, well, I got 5.5 points. I'll win also, and no, didn't get either one.
The Heat jumped out to a 20-1 lead.
I know. Felt good about it, and then it went awry yesterday. So I lost that. Sorry, I don't like doing this, but I did it anyways. I won the Louisville game. I took Louisville. No, I'm sorry. It was Heat -3.5, and then Heat plus a half. That's what it was for a moment. It was Louisville plus 5.5. Okay, I had a long night. Okay, so I got to get it right here. First of all, I took Louisville plus 1.5. The Canes were favored initially. I said, this is nuts. You don't do that. So I bet on Louisville. Sorry, I had to do it. It was easy money. You know what I mean? And then I'm watching the game, and the Canes took a little bit of a lead. I think it was a touchdown lead, and it went to plus 5.5 Louisville. And I said, I tripled my bet. I said, these guys are going to win, bro. I hate it, but, Mario can't coach. And by the way, Jeff Brom can coach. He can coach. So I won both my bets with the U. Lost yesterday with the Heat, unfortunately. So that it happens. What are you going to do? Panthers, by the way, are off this weekend. Monday, they will take on the Oilers, 7:00. And then we've got Dolphins at 1:00, and they are favored by 13.5 points. The over and under is 45.5. And Miami is minus 1,050 on the money line. The Raiders are plus 1050 on the money line. This thing opened up on Monday. Let me see. On Monday, Dolphins minus 10. It went to 13.5. Over and under is 47.5, went down to 45.5. Miami was minus 470 on the money line. Now they're 1,050. The Raiders were plus 360. Now they're plus 675. Shows you how much the line has moved from Monday all the way through the week. I think they're not expecting a lot of points in this game from the Raiders. Well, you got to put your mic on because nobody's going to hear you.
Well, no, I was going to say, nobody wants to listen to me anyways.
Yes, they do.
So even if they put up 7, 10, you're telling me the Dolphins, you don't think they're going to score over? I got them doing 35 to 40 points on their own.
Raiders have a decent defense. That's why. So they're figuring that, they'll keep it somewhat close and all that. So I guess that's why they've got it is kind of a low, because you would figure that this game could get out of control
quick.
Right. And
honestly, I think at the beginning,
and I don't know how Aiden O'Connell is going to pass on this second.
I honestly think in the beginning, not necessarily as much as the Carolina Panthers game, but I can see the Raiders fighting at the very beginning and then the Dolphins delivering the knockout blow and then just running away with it.
Right. I can see that too. Yeah. So it's nutty, man. Really nutty. See what's going on. All right. Anyway, just it is fun to see what's going on in the crypto market, man. Jazz. Miami averaging 43 points a game at home. Yep. Let's see what happens today against the Raiders and against that pass rush. You know what I'm saying? Although it's going to be fun. Austin Jackson against Max Crosby. And I don't fear that matchup like I would normally.
And our boy Kevin Harlan, I believe, is on the call.
Yes.
And we're magnificent with him on the call.
Yes. Things go well when Kevin Harlan is there. You are correct. And by the way, if you do need custom printing and embroidery, please call my friends at 3A Graphics Sports Calendar. They will get it done. Good people there, man. Alan Blanco, 786-618-1443. That's 786-618-1443. Yeah, Jordan Travis will never play. I know. It was just, that was sad, bro. Devastating. That kid worked so hard to get better every year and turn himself into a hell of a player. And that's the kind of shit that just heartbreaking, man. You know? And I think all of us as human beings will all be, rooting for Travis to, make one hell of a comeback and hopefully be the best that he's ever been again. That's what I'm hoping for, because sometimes life is just incredibly unfair to all of us. At one point or another, things happen that you're like, why? You know what I mean? And we all face those kind of things, those kind of moments in our lives. And that this is one of those moments for Travis. And man, you feel for the kid. You really do. Anyway, let's see. Raiders secondary is very good. We need to run the ball. Yeah, no, it's a good defense. It's a good defense overall. You're going to have a challenge. Look, we'll get into into it now and start talking a little bit about it. Man, I feel a little weird. One of the things that you're just going to have to play smart today is what it is. You're the better team overall. You've got a culture that you're kind of setting in place right now. You've got the better head coach. You've got the better front office. You've got the better owner. You've got the better roster. You've got the better quarterback. You have all of the advantages, really. You're home. You're rested. There's a ton of things to like about this situation. But the only way you win this game is if you play responsible and smart. You can't have the stupid penalties. You can't have the turnovers. You can't have the sloppy play. You can't do the things that allow the Giants to take a 14-0 lead on you. Comprende, compadre? That's really what today is all about. There is no reason whatsoever for the Raiders to win this game. None. The only reason they would win the game is if you allow them to win the game. But if you go out there and play to your ability, well, your abilities are better than the Raiders. That's it. I love what Antonio Pierce is doing there, and it's more about culture right now than really winning. But they've beaten two of the worst offenses in the NFL, two of the 4 or 5 worst offenses in the NFL, the Giants and the Jets. They are pathetic. They can't score points. Now you're facing one of the 3 best offenses in the NFL. They can score points, and they're home, and they got one of their best weapons back in Devon Achane. So really, today is about playing responsible football. If you do that, there's really no reason you should not win this game handily, the way Vegas has it. Now, if you want to start committing stupid penalties, if you want to fumble the ball away, Tyreek Hill, if you want to throw interceptions to it, if Mike McDaniel, you want to give up on the run, if if you start doing some of the things that can get you in trouble, then yeah, all of a sudden we're sitting there late in the third quarter and we're like, dude, why are the Dolphins trailing by 1 or up by 3? And then we're going to be like, why is this game close? Oh, that's right. They had these penalties. They had that turnover. They threw that interception. They allowed these sacks. They held on to the ball. They, whatever. Stuff. By the way, the held on to the ball, that's not fair to Tua because he's really not doing that anymore. But I'm just saying, these are the kind of things that you can open it up. So if you want to be the Raiders' 12th man, then you go ahead and allow them in the game. But if you play 11 on 11, you are the superior team. If it's coaching staff versus coaching staff, you are the superior team. If it's quarterback versus quarterback, you have the superior player. So go out and get it done. That's it. That's really how you decipher this matchup. There's no need to really break it down. I'll break down some of the matchups individually today to have a little fun with it because there are some matchups that are going to be kind of fun. You know what I'm saying? And I mentioned one earlier, but it's just responsible football, man. That's all it is. Just play responsible football. By the way, we got all kinds of prizes and giveaways out here at Walk-Ons. We give prizes away like when you're eating and drinking. The ladies here or the guys that are serving will give you raffle tickets. So as you purchase stuff, they give you a raffle ticket, and it goes into the bucket. And then we've got all kinds of prizes, Caneswear stuff, Dolphin hats, shirts, really nice stuff. All Dolphins gear from Caneswear. Because remember, at Caneswear, 2655 South University Drive in Davie. Remember, use our code BIG010. You will get 10% off online or in person. BIG010, so you can get 10% off. And if you order online over $99, you'll get free shipping. But they've got everything with the Canes logo on it, but they've also got a bunch of Dolphins gear, Heat, Panthers, Marlins, Inter Miami. So all of our local teams there at Caneswear, so you can check it out. It's a beautiful thing. I'm telling you. All right. What else do we have going on? Liam Eichenberg will be playing right guard. Lester Cotton will be playing left guard today. And I got to say something. One of the things that Liam Eichenberg, in a way, I can compare Liam Eichenberg a little bit to the crypto bear market. So you drafted him high when Bitcoin was at, 60,000, right? And then all of a sudden we went into the bear market and it went all the way down to 16,500. And people said Liam Eichenberg is a bust, right? Couple years, couldn't play well, failed everywhere, every position possible. They moved him around. Then in comes Mike McDaniel and company, but he was all injured last year, along with Austin Jackson. So he really didn't get the year of coaching that he needed and developing because he was rehabbing the entire year, basically. So now he's playing, and just like Austin Jackson, he has started to improve. So now we're coming out of the bear market and we're going bull. And he has improved to the point that even it got better for him at center. Did a good job the other time at left guard. Now he's going to be a right guard. And the Dolphins are actually not only watching him rebuild his value and going up, like Bitcoin went back up from 16,000 to the 37 range that it's at now, right? So that's kind of Liam Eichenberg building himself back up again. But let me tell you something. he came in only as a tackle, labeled as a tackle. Dolphins have done him a favor in a sense where it's become a negative for him that he didn't get initially the tackle job and settle in right away. Okay, that's your failure. But now you've bounced back, and now you have added a lot of experience at multiple positions. So they've made you money because they've actually made you more versatile. And even Butch Berry was talking about it this week, that by playing center, he feels it makes him a better guard, which is interesting, but also true, because if you think about it, if you're able to handle the challenge of making the calls at the line, snapping the ball, and blocking, then you're going to be able to just block and not have to make the calls or snap when you're at guard. So it's kind of interesting in that sense. But the stuff that people don't talk about, because it's really easy to just pick on the guy instead of saying, hey, you know what? Things have gotten better for him. He's become a better player under the tutelage of these coaches, under this scheme. And then at the same time, he is showing versatility, which I think is really, really important, obviously, for the Dolphins. You know what I'm saying? But also for Liam Eichenberg himself. You know what I mean? That he has that versatility. I think it's really, really cool for him, and obviously great for the Miami Dolphins. It's something that people won't talk about, but I commend him, man. You know, we just talked about how life will kick you in the ass, and with Travis Jordan. And now you look at Liam Eichenberg, talk about a guy that has gotten an ass kicking over and over and getting ripped by the media and fans and not living up to expectations and all those kind of things. That's frustrating, right? And it's easy to give up in life. You know, a lot of people, when they face adversity, they fold, and they kind of don't want to take on the challenge sometimes, or they're afraid to take on the challenge. Sometimes I think as human beings, we're afraid to fail. And what we don't understand is that that's a part of our entire lives. You don't swim the first time. You kind of sink the first time before you start swimming. You don't bike initially. You fall a bunch before you're actually biking. You know, you don't just get on that skateboard and start doing it. You just don't tie your shoes right on the first shot. We fail at everything, dude. They toss us a baseball or a softball, and we are whiffing because we have to time hand-eye coordination. You play chess for the first time, and you're like, wow, this is not checkers, and everything moves differently, and you've got to think 3 moves ahead. And so then it's more of a thinking game. Before you move, you have to think a lot. Everything in life is about failure. It's kind of what it is. Success is fed off of failure. And yet, we're all so terrified at times, not all of us, but some of us are so terrified of failing that you don't understand that your entire life is about failure. That's the only way you succeed. Because we all failed at everything we did at the beginning. First time he was probably producing, trying to figure out all these buttons and all these knobs and, you know, whatever it was you're going on. And, you know, for anything. First time you hose, first time whatever. First time you're a mechanic and you left a piece out and you're like, oh shit, was this supposed to be part of it? You know, that's kind of that's life. Life is about failure. And we focus so much on it, but what we don't focus enough on is how we overcome it. And that's what we don't talk about with Liam Eichenberg enough. that he has gone through the embarrassment of being traded for, expectations, not living up to it, then injuries to set you back. Anything and everything that could possibly set this man back has happened. Did he give up? No. And then he doesn't really get what he wants because he probably wanted to be a tackle right from the get-go, and now he's bouncing around all over the place, but he's not pointing fingers and he's not complaining. And not enough people give him love for setting a great example as a human being for all of us, because we're all going to face the same kind of adversities in a different way, but we're all going to face them. You know, it's just it's an interesting thing, and I kind of feel bad for Liam because we kind of don't give him enough love, you know, for what he's doing and how much he has improved. And it's not an easy situation. Yes, sir.
My first producing gig,
Yes.
Hank Goldberg,
Oh, God.
into a Yankees broadcast.
Oh, God. Wow. Yeah, Nervous City.
Yes, Nervous City, but then also, you know, because like Hank at that time really, I don't know him like long before that, but at that point he didn't really
Give a shit.
Yeah, he was just like,
He was mailing it in.
I'm like, Hank, we got
He didn't really want to be there. He
Yeah.
just because he couldn't be at 5:16.
It was like, hey, coming in 10 seconds. He goes, hold on. Keep playing the music. I'll come in when I'm ready. Okay. Then I hear him on the thing on the phone, and he's doing his stuff.
Right, making a bet.
Yep. I'm like, he's like, don't hit the mic. No problem. I won't. I'll wait till you tell me. That was my first.
I was around Hank for a long time, so I know his.
It was an experience, but I loved every Sunday. I
Yeah.
loved it.
Yeah.
Wouldn't trade it for the world.
He actually behind the scenes is a completely different person. That's the thing about Hank that people didn't know. You know what I mean? He was like a hard ass on air, and then he was a mensch behind the scenes. You know, and that's just and I don't think unless you really knew him, you never got to see that side. That's the thing about Hank. So he gets that label. You know what I mean? And oh, what an asshole! What a hard ass! Oh, well, you know, and he was just really behind the scenes. He wasn't really like that. So
What got me was I did his show for him on Sundays, and he came into for some reason he had to come in, and he showed up to the studios, which were not good, but and he actually saw me and then introduced it, and then he knew who I was.
right,
So I meant a lot. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like coming, because all he heard was my voice every Sunday. You know?
right.
And
He
then,
didn't see you.
yeah. And then so that was the one time I got to meet him, and it was pretty cool.
Yeah. Hank and I would go back and forth on air, and then when there was an issue, he was like the first guy that would call me and tell me, "Hey, you need any help? You need me to do something, whatever." And I was, no, you know, whatever. And it's just a side that most people never saw. Some of you that are young, you don't even know what I'm talking about or whatever. But just a dude that was definitely misunderstood. You know, but that's kind of the way it went, you know, because the persona on air was the persona on air. And so he kind of, that's what he wanted to be, you know. True Fin fan, thank you. Appreciate you with the love on the super chat. Who? Oh, really? His wife's birthday? Oh, that's right. Happy birthday to your wife, man. That's right. Happy birthday to her. Hope you guys have a great day, man. And thank you for the love in the super chat. And remember, you can make a donation through Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. And you can send in a Bitcoin donation, which you know, that makes me very happy, Bitcoin donations.
Dolphin inactives are in.
What do we got?
Interesting.
Okay.
Inactives. Wide receiver Braxton Berrios.
Well, he was banged up.
Yep.
Okay.
Skylar Thompson, of course. Running back Jeff Wilson Jr. Offensive lineman Robert Jones. Offensive lineman Robert Hunt. Tight end Durham Smythe. And wide receiver Chase Claypool.
Yeah, and he had surgery. All right, so Berrios, but you got Craycraft back. So, you know, that kind of makes it up. Skyler's the third quarterback. Jeff Wilson, you got a Chan back, so you're loaded at running back. Robert Jones, Robert Hunt, we know about. Your guards are out. Smythe was banged up. Kind of been inconsistent lately. And Chase Claypool. So, I mean, outside of the guards that I would really want back. But you know what? I'm good with Cotton and Eichenberg today. I think it's been a positive in that sense that you're not only developing a line, but you're developing some quality backups too in the process. So I think this is all of this ends up becoming a good thing in the long run for the team, because these guys now have the familiarity of filling in and playing those positions. So God forbid something happens down the line to Hunt in the playoffs or something, one of the guys can step in. So I don't look at it as like this, oh my God, this is such a negative on it. I don't really look at it that way. These guys can coach and develop, man. Yes, sir.
The Raiders inactives: Brian Hoyer, Jalen Smith, their linebacker, Amari Burney, linebacker, Uranus Grasu, the center, Colton Miller, tackle, Byron Young, defensive tackle, Nesta Jade Silvera, defensive tackle. That's
okay.
The Raiders.
That's the kid, Silvera. I loved Rick Weaver. Yes, sir. Third down in a cab ride. I'm with you there. Someone please remind me to get the pizza out of the oven in 15 minutes. Okay, you got it. Got it. We're set. About 11:48. Let's remind him, folks. Or 48 after the hour, depending on where you're at. What's right? Claypool had a scope on the knee, so he's out for a couple of weeks. Again, they weren't using him much, so it's not like you're missing something. You haven't really added a dimension with him yet. You know what I mean? I'm a little disappointed with him. I got to be honest. I thought he would make a quicker transition. I thought they would find some kind of a little role for him right away, and they didn't. And maybe he got here banged up, and now he needed the scope or something. Who knows? Hank did not have patience with uninformed callers. Yeah. I don't have a lot of patience myself with stupidity either, by the way. I'm kind of I have a little bit of that in me also. I don't really have, and I know that we have this sensitive thing in this world today, but I don't really cater to people's feelings much. I don't really worry about it, to be quite honest. So it doesn't really go well with this world sometimes. Hear me out now, Big O, says Marcus. All offseason, Dolphins will do this if Tua. Oh, nice. Thank you, sir. Thank you. My father. I like it. Very nice. Thank you, my brother. Appreciate you. There we go. All right. The buckets have arrived. There we go. All the more prizes, more giveaways throughout the game. What's up, Joe? You doing all right? And we got all the gift cards in each. Okay. All right. So the buckets will have coolies and hats and gift cards and all that. And we got Perdomo prizes. We got Caneswear. We got Big O t-shirts. We got all kinds of stuff going on, man. So you got to come on down here and join us for these games. Let's see. All right. So all right. Hear me out, Big O. Funny. All offseason, Dolphins will do this. If Tua stays healthy, Dolphins will do that. If Tua stays healthy, Tua will be the MVP. If Tua stays healthy, who's still standing? Tua. Yeah. But he's doing, and I talked about this earlier, and this is our problem in our media at times. And I get it, because I've been in the media now for I'm wrapping up my 33rd year. Negativity sells. Okay? You guys gravitate to negativity. So they will look for the sensationalism, the drama. They want that hook because you will react to it. You don't react to the good stories nearly as much. You just don't. The feel-good stories are not read nearly as much as the rip jobs, the bad news. That's just the way it is. So, what was the attitude? Exactly what Marcus was talking about. Oh, if Tua stays healthy. Oh, well, yeah, no, they're only going to go as far as Tua because Tua can't stay healthy because Tua's a sack of injury, this, that. So then what was my attitude? And we talked about it this week on the show. You probably made a segment on it. That I was like, no. Tua's fine. Tua can play for 15 years. People looked at me really weird. He just has to get rid of the football. His problem is that he hangs on to the football. Nobody else was saying that. No one. No one wrote it. No one talked about it on radio. No one talked about it on television. Everybody went to the sensationalism. Doesn't matter if it was Pro Football Talk, the Miami Herald, ESPN, the Sun Sentinel, Dolphins Talk, what is it? No, the alldolphinstalk.com, whatever. It didn't matter. Anybody that covers the Dolphins, they went to the sensationalism of it. I went to completely the solution of it. What was really happening. Hey, guys, it's not that he's injury prone. It's that he puts himself in these positions because he holds on to the ball. Look, 3.85 seconds, 4.6 seconds, 4.4 seconds, 5.1 seconds. What's that? Oh, the amount of time he holds on to the ball during the big injuries. So instead of going to the sensationalism, we try to find the reason to. Bro, we got plenty of sensationalism. We don't need to go searching for it. I don't need to create it. I'll just tell you that Flo's going to get fired in the middle of a winning streak. I don't need to create the sensationalism. The real stuff happens, and I cover it, and I tell you about it. The sensationalism is, oh, no, they've got to trade for Dalvin Cook because, he's the answer. He's the end-all, be-all. We don't do that here. And so that's where, Marcus, you are 1,000% right, my brother. And now you can do that with Joe Burrow, by the way. Well, the Cincinnati Bengals will only go as far as Joe Burrow, if he can stay healthy. Right? Because Joe Burrow gets injured all the time. So, but they don't do that with Joe Burrow. They only do that with Tua. And that's the problem here. And that's the problem with our media because we search for the sensationalism of it all because that's what sells. That's what gets you guys hooked, overall. Don't forget, folks, if your business wants to be a part of our platform, 786-754-4664. That is our business line. We can do our pre-post-game shows at your business. We can do daily shows at your business, weekly, monthly. We travel. Sean and I have traveled all over the country doing shows. So we have businesses that are local, that are national, that are international. So obviously the platform reaches all levels. So if your business wants to be a part of our platform and support it and be a part of one of our segments, 786-754-4664. That is our business line. Please reach out. Sneak Attack 305 says, making my way to walk-ons to go hang out with Big O. Thank you, Sneak Attack 305. Appreciate you big time. Victor Huertas with the love on the super chat. Big O, I know it's stupid, but when are we going to wear Aqua jerseys? I don't know. I don't know what the schedule is like, my brother. But I do love those Aqua jerseys. I do like them. I will admit. Did the kazoo make a sound when you were smoking out of it? Mine does every time. I don't know about yours. Oh, why do you think people are obsessed with running QBs? They are sacks of injuries. Unfortunate for Jordan Travis. Just learned that's the hard way. Yeah. You got to win from the pocket, man. I say that all the time, right? Look at the champions. It's not the guys that live on their legs. It's the guys that live from the pocket. You know? True Fin says, I'm exhausted and disgusted with the media. Just unwatchable shit, man. The 3-4 hours I get from this show is all I care for these days. When this show isn't on or isn't or on, I guess, I listen to old school music. Thank you, True Fin. That's very nice of you, man. Very, very flattering. Let's see. What else do we have? Big O, I heard Solo D's pregame rap. We will play it at the top of in 17 minutes. You will hear it. We always play it to start off hour number 2. We play Solo D's rap. I really miss Roger. I miss your rap, dude. I miss your rap. I will say this, Roger, when the Dolphins are in the Super Bowl, and this is a Super Bowl caliber team, it's up to them to put it together. That's why I was pissed in that Buffalo game. I still haven't recovered from that Buffalo game. I still have not, because that's not the real Dolphins team. That's not the Dolphins team that, like the Philly game and the Chiefs game, those were close games. Those were respectable losses, and, a little tweak here or there, you can win those games. But the Buffalo game, that wasn't that team. It wasn't that team. This team can be special. Okay? Big time. Big O's farts sound like a kazoo. Yeah, it depends. Depends. Sometimes it could sound like a cannon. There we go. We've got the mic for the emceeing in between quarters, halftime, and the 2-minute warning for the grand prize. So there you go. Let's see. Big O, if Miami goes to the Super Bowl, you throw in a house party, I'll bring the booze. The place we have, it's a nice sized place, but I don't know about a house party, but we will do something. Oh, actually, we can throw a house party. Yes, we can at Tommy Rockers. Yes, we will. You don't have to bring the booze, bro. We're at a bar. We're at a Dolphins bar in Vegas. Okay? That's where I'm going to do the pre- and post-game show, at Tommy Rockers. So I will be there. I'm sorry, Sean, about that. We will be there in Vegas for the Super Bowl. God, that would be some cool shit, huh? I mean, in a short time, we've already done some really cool shit on this platform. But that would be the ultimate, to go cover the Dolphins in the Super Bowl. Doesn't get better than that, dude.
I know we're not talking this, but you said Vegas, so I wanted to throw something out there.
Yes.
You know how F1 did all the not F1, but Vegas did all the tarping on the things? They did it during the day. When the lights went on at night, you could see right through it.
Oh, that is awesome.
And the fans ripped it down anyways.
It was going to happen. That thing's been a disaster, that whole,
Lewis Hamilton liked the racing, the racing part of it. I don't know about everything else inside.
Did he like the loose manhole cover? Was he a
fan
of that?
I didn't hear about that one. He must not have been involved with that
you
part
didn't
of
see
it.
A couple of nights ago in practice, they had to stop practice right away because a car went by a loose manhole cover and
just blew it up.
Yeah, dude. You should,
I have to go back through and watch all the. I'm sure there's gonna be a video of the F1 week in Vegas.
Oh God, yes. There's already, all kinds of bad stuff, dude. Yeah, definitely. You like the orange jerseys, Ron? Yeah, me too. They're cool. I like them. Tua is the best pure passer quarterback since Dan Marino, easily. That's not even. Tua is the best quarterback Miami's had since Marino, period. Passer, quarterback, winner, period. End of story. It's the best guy we've had here since Marino. It was a travesty out here. They had a civil suit. Oh, you talking about, the F1, they've got it's been a mess, dude. Been a mess. Big O, Miami goes to the Super Bowl. You throwing it? Yes, we throwing it. Big O, if those Tua stay healthy comments are stupid, are they true for all teams in the NFL? If you lose your starting QB, your season's over. Pretty much. What I'm saying with Tua is when other people are injury prone, do the same thing. That's all I'm saying. It was fair. It's fair to say Tua's injury prone. The guy's had injuries since he was young. So it's a normal label. I get it. But when it's happening to Joe Burrow, let's do the same thing, right? Let's call it like we see it. Just because he might be one of the best players in the NFL and one of the 3 or 4 best quarterbacks in the NFL, he's still injury prone. So, all I'm saying is let's do things fairly. That's all I want. That's it. And for me, that's what I've always been bothered by when it comes to Tua, that he just doesn't get treated fairly. And that's where, I just think it's unfair. Put it that way. Jerry Coe is in. Thank you for the love in the super chat. Want me to let Tommy know you're coming here if the Dolphins are in the Super Bowl? Oh, he knows. He knows. You don't have to tell Tommy. He knows. I'll be back. So we're good. Yes.
Phinz rule, I know you put in earlier the smoke alarm was going off, but now the timer just went off. Your pizza should be ready.
Oh, yeah. That's right. Yep, 11:50. Yep, your pizza should be ready. By the way, Baptist Health is the official sports medicine provider for the Miami Heat, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, FIU, FAU, Orange Bowl, Miami-Dade County Public Schools, Miami Open Tennis, Miami Marathon, and half marathons. And, of course, Baptist Health Orthopedic Care has locations from Monroe County to Palm Beach County. Go to baptisthealth.net/ortho. Use this QR code. And, hey, listen, I tell you all the time, the Alzugaray family, we use Baptist Health all the time for many things. My daughter, my wife, myself, we've all been to Baptist Health several times. In fact, my wife was just there for 4 bleeding ulcers. I know. That's what I do to that woman. 4 bleeding ulcers. Teaching, bro. Don't be a teacher, dude. Don't be a teacher. 200 kids a day. Oh, my God, that woman. I don't know how she does it. Big O, I missed the days of Hank, Jim, Neil, Jeff DeForest. Yes, those were fun days. Vegas is only a 6-hour drive from my house in Arizona. I will go to a Dolphins Super Bowl party. Well, come on up, man. Even if you don't have tickets to be in Vegas for the event, for the watching the game, all that stuff, that's priceless, dude. Priceless. Doesn't get better than that. Orlando people need to be more objective instead of subjective about Tua, sports, and the world in general. I'm with you, Jay. But it won't happen, yeah. It won't happen. People love the clicks and the views, man. Yep.
And unfortunately or fortunately, however you want to look at it, you got to get the clicks to keep your job.
Right, I mean, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, and it's just not something that we kind of we don't exercise that here on this platform because we don't have to. I forgot the pizza was less time in the oven when thawed. Oh, wow. Tua shows up in a traditional Samoa lava skirt and some Dolphin fans making fun of him on X. Terrible, no knowledge of other cultures. Yeah. And by the way, you're always going to have that group of people because they were wrong about him. So now they've got to use any kind of ammo to kind of make fun of the kid. That's just what we're doing. That's all. All right. Hour number 2. I want to get into a bunch of stuff here. One, I want to talk a little bit about Eichenberg. Connor Williams, Lester Cotton. Talk about that matchup. I want to get into some of the injuries going into this game, some of the stuff that we got to worry about. I want to tell you why I think the Dolphins, you've seen some pretty fun football and some pretty good football. I actually think the Dolphins are set to play their best football in the second half of the season, and I'm going to tell you why. I'm also going to tell you why I think the Dolphins are also going to have more balance in the second half of the season, because I think there's a couple of things that are developing. Then I want to get into a little bit. I'm not going to get too deep into the matchup against the Raiders, but there's a couple of things that people are talking about. And again, sensationalism and all that. We're going to bring a little reality to that conversation and what's really going on. You know what I'm saying? So that's, a lot of things to talk about on the show. Do want to remind you that the show is proudly brought to you by KSDT CPAs. We love talking about them. We were there yesterday, hanging out with Jeffrey, Allen, all the great people there at KSDT CPAs. And folks, if you are looking for somebody, a company that you can count on, that is constantly growing to help you for your personal taxes, your business taxes, tax, advisory, assurance, accounting, they can help you plan. They can help your business grow. If you're looking to sell your business, you want to know what the value is, KSDT CPAs. They can help you out in so many different ways. So please reach out to them. You see the billboard there, KSDT CPAs. They are hiring in Dade, Broward, and Palm Beach counties, and a new office in North Carolina, also hiring. KSDT CPAs. All right, let me take a quick break. Hour number 2 is next, live from Walk-Ons in Kendall.
You're listening to Miami Dolphins coverage on the Sports Talk 305 network, brought to you by EJDconstruction.com. This is the Miami Dolphins Pregame Show with Orlando Alzugaray.
There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
When you move, you need a reliable company led by passionate folks eager to assist its customers during a transitional process that needs to be smooth. Call Essential Moving Experts at 844-368-5750 for all your local and long-distance moving needs. You can rely on Essential Moving Experts. Mention the Big O Radio Show and get $150 off. Family owned and operated. They offer free 30-day storage, full service moving, fully licensed, bonded, and insured. Moving was never so easy. EssentialMovingExperts.com.
Oh, I think I know what this is. Houston, we have a package. Hello?
No matter where you are, the Sloman Shield Home Security System guards your home. With next-gen perimeter protection, 24/7 monitoring, and interior motion sensing. And right now, get a free Sloman Shield security system and doorbell camera, all professionally installed, for free.
Shield your world, the Sloman Shield.
Welton Rayom has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They're committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. Property damage claims to your home, business, or condo as a result of a hurricane. Welton Rayom can help. Water, mold, fire, smoke damage, Welton Rayom can help. Call 954-966-4646.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
Viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. Welcome back to the best coverage of Miami Dolphins football on any platform. This is the EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins Pregame Show on the Sports Talk 305 network. Here's your host, Orlando Alzugaray.
Back to the right, to the end zone up. Back to the right where we get wins up. Back to the right where they throw fins up. Back to the right where the defense eat. Back to the right where we bring in the heat. Back to the right where the fans don't sleep. Fresh off the bye. Team still elite, man, don't question the guys. Still number one, that's an excellent vibe. And the whole team on the healthier side. I'm telling you, I still think this season we destined to fly. Right to Las Vegas. Hit the field, do the electrical slide. I wanna thank the Pats, the Bills, and just cause they frauds. They thought it was us, but we bout to prove we nothing like y'all. Raiders been ballin'. They hoping their story gon' turn to a Cinderella. But you can tell AP and Jacobs and Adams that they gon' get smoked like a cigarella. And tell Max Crosby, he gon' get locked down Bill Cosby. See them Phinz gon' hit the field rowdy. And the fans in the stands still shouting. Got to it with the Braves, he styling. Started from the bottom, made it out it. And that O-line won't get overcrowded. All our running backs up there, let's pound it. Defense official got Ramsey and X. It's time to prove that Miami's a threat. Two of the Tyreek, the man they connect. But when he hit wide, that dance is the best. It take a team effort, all hands is on deck. Bet against us and get gambling debt. It's time to prove that Miami's the best. Back to the right, to the end zone up. Back to the right where we get wins up. Back to the right where they throw fins up. Back to the right where the defense eat. Back to the right where we bring in the heat. Back to the right where the fans don't sleep. Back to the right, to the end zone up. Back to the right where we get wins up. Back to the right where they throw fins up. Back to the right where the defense eat. Back to the right where we bring in the heat. Back to the right where the fans don't sleep. Who that? So low, so low, so low, D. So low, so low, so low, D. That's DWA.
All right. A little Solo D ready to rock and roll. I love it. Nice job by Solo D, as always, getting us prepped for the matchup. He's gifted, man. He is gifted. I don't know how he does it every week, but he is gifted, man. Mason D. Pierre Domenico. Mason D. Pierre Domenico. I'm not sure if I got it right. I tried. He says, I was arguing on Thursday night that Lamar is not an elite QB because he is an inaccurate passer and only has his legs. The retort was he had an MVP season and that we hold black quarterbacks to a different standard. Is that true? No. It's just, dude, forget the race crap. It's just so stupid, all that race crap, okay? This has nothing to do with race. Bottom line is, most people, I shouldn't say that. A lot of you, media, fans, you don't really understand the quarterback position. Happens with Tua, the same thing. When I was telling people, Tua is a great passer, when I was telling people in his first 2 years that he reminds me of Joe Montana, they're like, huh? And so the problem is that people get in love with stats. And, Cam Newton won an MVP once too. And I get it, bro. Athletes will freak you out. And we talk about this all the time because they can do things that you and I will never be able to do. That doesn't mean just because you're a great athlete doesn't mean you're a great quarterback and a great passer. It could mean that you can have a great year because your athleticism opened it up for you to have that. But more often than not, if you are not a skilled passer, year in and year out, you will not succeed as a quarterback. You're going to struggle. And some days, listen, Peyton Manning won a Super Bowl when he couldn't throw more than 10 yards. Sometimes shit falls in your place, falls all into place for you, and you win it. Doesn't necessarily mean that you were the difference maker for it. But you were in the right scenario, and it carried you. And so, yes, Lamar won an MVP. Big deal, dude. Big deal. That's because he's a great athlete. He's a freak. So freaks can do those things. But do you win constantly in the playoffs? Are you winning a Super Bowl? Are you getting deep into the playoffs consistently? No, you're not. Because these running quarterbacks, they are flashes in the pan. That's exactly what Lamar has been. Never does anything in the playoffs. And Cam had his one run, but it wasn't like he was doing it all the time with Carolina because you are not good enough to do it all the time. So it has nothing to do with what color your skin is or anything like that. It has to do with people not understanding what a real quarterback looks like, what a real passer looks like, because people are still in love with the athlete. So they worry about how fast he can run, how far he can throw, and how big and physical he is. And what do we do on this show? We don't lean on the sensationalistic part of it. We don't lean on the freakish part of it. We say, is he smart? Is he an accurate passer? Does he have anticipatory skills? Does he have ball placement skills? Oh, he does? Oh, okay, now we're talking elite. Because the guy that knows ball placement, well, then he knows how to keep it away from the defender. The guy that has anticipatory skills, well, he knows how to throw people open. The guy that has accuracy knows how to lead a wide receiver. The guy that has intelligence knows how to decipher everything that's going on. Those are the traits that you look for first in a quarterback. And then if he happens to be tall, that's fantastic. If he happens to be a fast runner, that's great. If he happens to be able to throw it out of the stadium, super. But first, give me the other ones. And that's the problem that people don't understand. And then that's why Drew Brees falls through the cracks. And that's why Joe Montana falls through the third round. And that's why people will doubt Tua Tagovailoa. And that's why, things like this continually happen in the league because you don't understand what a passer looks like. And then, the Brock Purdy thing. We keep getting hung on to the 7th round stuff when we have to get to the point of the dude's actually a pretty good passer and he's smart. So he can do some of the things that other quarterbacks can't do, even Lamar, because he can't consistently make the right decision and the accurate pass. Lamar can't do that if you watch the game. Just watch the game on Thursday night. They're bragging about all his stats, but if you look at the difficult throws in that game, he failed on all of them pretty much. But on the short ones that were the obvious throws, easy throws, they were short completed, and they yacked it away. And it helped the hell out of his stats. But it wasn't like he was throwing people open. It wasn't like he was hitting people downfield. He kept missing those plays because he can't do it on a consistent basis. On any given Sunday, could Lamar Jackson hit a couple of accurate passes downfield? Of course he can. He's an athlete. But can he do it week in and week out and make you pay? No. Has nothing to do with color. Has to do everything with understanding that maybe Brock Purdy is actually better than what you think. That Tua is actually an elite quarterback, an elite passer. You know what I mean? And that's what you need to understand. And that Lamar Jackson or Ryan Tannehill, again, dude, for me, it's all I'm super accurate about this. Don't I throw Lamar and Ryan all the time in the same sentence? It's just different running games. Ryan depends on Derek to be successful. Lamar depends on his legs to be successful. But it's the same quarterback. Neither one can be successful because they cannot be consistent passers. I don't give a shit about your color. Kiss my ass for your color, dude. Last time I checked, Tua's closer to black than he is white, right? And that didn't stop me from believing in Tua from the get-go. Has zero to do with how you look, how tall you are, how short you are, where were you drafted. I don't give a shit about that. Can you play? Can you pass? Can you win solely from the pocket? Lamar Jackson never in his life will be able to solely win from the pocket. Ryan Tannehill can never solely win from the pocket. Okay? Cam Newton can never solely win from the pocket. Pat Mahomes can do it. Tua can do it. Breeze can do it. Peyton Manning can do it. Brady can do it. That's kind of the reason. Russell Wilson could make plays off script, but he could win from the pocket. He could kill you from the pocket. Got to win from the pocket, dude. Got to win from the pocket. And Lamar Jackson has never been able to play from the pocket on a consistent basis. Those are the facts. I've been trying to explain this for years. But if you want to keep freaking out on his legs, you go ahead, dude. His legs are super impressive. His arm accuracy is not. So it has zero to do with color. The problem we have in our society also is that we have a whole bunch of weak-minded people, and they use racism and bias for their own failures to use it as an excuse and a crutch. While it does exist, it doesn't nearly exist as predominantly as people make it out to be. The problem is too many of you out there take losing. Remember what we just talked about with Liam Eichenberg earlier in the hour about overcoming adversity? There's a lot of you out there that you fold the tent at the first sign of adversity and then just point fingers. and say, well, they don't like women. Well, they don't like this. They don't like this color. They don't like that color. They don't like this. And that's why I'm not succeeding. So there you go. That's a little lesson in life and in reality when it comes to Lamar Jackson or any other quarterback that can't depend on his accuracy of his arm to win. And that's Lamar Jackson's problem. And it will always be his problem, and it'll never go away. By the way, Zach Wilson is the same shit. Forget the running game. He has no accuracy. He can't, and he's not even smart enough. That's the other thing. That's one thing I have picked up with Zach. Woo, doggy. He cannot decipher right away. That's really a bad issue, that you can't read and react right away. Ooh. He reacts to the obvious read when he can't see it developing before. Anticipatory skills are a gift. Absolute gift. Let's see. Jets beating nobody but themselves today, probably. Let's see what else. Score prediction. I say 30-17 Dolphins. I'm going to go Dolphins 27, Raiders 9. I just don't see a lot of points. Even though I'm not going to give the points, by the way. But I think they're going to kick their ass 27-9. How about that? Okay? I really do. I don't know how they're going to actually, score on them, to be quite honest. All right, let's get into a couple things I want to talk about. First of all, I've talked a little bit about it throughout the last 2 weeks here. And again, sensationalism is way better, and drama and all of that. I'm not about that. I'm about what I think is actually happening in reality, good or bad, whatever, or indifferent. Doesn't matter to me. But this is freaking great. I think the best of the Dolphins is to come. Okay? I'm not telling you that offensively it could get even better than it's been. I think they're going to match what they've done offensively at times, and they'll be fantastic. But I think the balance that you and I have been seeking as fans is coming. And we saw it with the addition and the return of Jalen Ramsey. And Javon Holland also was out for a game, and he came back too, and he's kind of back in a groove. And now you had 2 weeks off. And I think now the best of the Dolphins is coming, because David Long is getting comfortable. Jalen Phillips is getting comfortable. Bradley Chubb is playing really well overall. I actually think that Christian Wilkins and Sealer are also starting to get a little bit more comfortable and starting to play a little bit more consistently against the run. I actually feel that the Miami Dolphins' best football is going to be played now, which is kind of what we wanted, because guys are getting healthy. I know they're missing their guards, and eventually they'll get those guys back. But that's the other thing that's, again, I've talked about this the last couple of weeks. They never had a starting five here. They have a starting five and then Kendall Lamb. They have a starting five, and here comes Liam Eichenberg doing a solid job. The first game was a little bit of a disaster, obviously, but then after that, he got better the next two games, at center. Lester Cotton's done a solid job. Robert Jones has done a solid job, and I know they're banged up now, but guys have done, good work, right? Austin Jackson has been the pillar of stability for this team. He's been fantastic. And so for me, you're developing a deeper line going into the second half of the season. What did I tell you at the beginning of the show? I don't worry so much about Eichenberg and Cotton nearly as much as everybody else anymore, because I see Eichenberg getting better as a player. I see Cotton getting better as a player. From that first outing where he was, a little shaky because it was his first outing, he got better too. I love the starters already as it is. So you tell me, we're getting Ramsey back. The defense is settling in. Players are knowing their roles. The offensive line has been outstanding. You're actually developing depth. Tua's playing incredibly smart football. Your wide receivers are elite. I think we're headed for better days. I think the NFL is about to see the best Dolphins team it has seen in 35, 40 years. I'm even more pumped up about the second half of the season. Why the hell do you think I was so effing livid with the Bills game? Because unlike other people, I have higher expectations for this team because I see the talent. It's there. I think we have the one of the three best front off, maybe the second. I'm going to put it right behind Philadelphia because Howie deserves his credit. He's been doing it for several years. Dolphins have to do it for several years and win a championship to catch up to him. But I think the Dolphins are right up there, dude. Right up there. And I told you this when they got together, the Dolphins will prove to have one of the best front offices. You got a hell of a coaching staff, and I think you got a great team. You got the quarterback. The best football is coming. Strap it on. Get ready. Get ready to have some fun. You've had balance on offense. You can run the ball. You can throw the ball. You finally have a quarterback. You finally have an offensive line. You finally have an offensive mind. You finally have a coach that can build a staff. And you have a defense now, too. Okay? In years past, that's kind of the only thing they've had was defenses and mediocre offenses to complement them. Now you got the super offense, and I think now the defense is going to take that next step finally. Guys are learning Fangio's system. I can't tell you how pumped up I am about this. That's why I get pissed if they don't reach their potential because you don't. This window closes quickly. They don't have a lot of time. We don't have years to wait for this. You have to take advantage of these moments now. And the Dolphins, believe it or not, are good enough to win the Super Bowl this year. They just got to put it together. I'm the guy that told you that Tua's fine. Tua can play for 15 years. He has to play this way. And guess what he started doing? Playing this way. It's not about sensationalism and going crazy and, oh, my God, he can't stay healthy. Anybody can stay healthy if you play smart, if you don't put a shoulder into people, if you get rid of the football, if you don't hang on to it for 5 seconds. Dude, there's a really good chance you'll stay healthy. Yeah, once in a blue moon, there's going to be a jailbreak. Somebody's going to come unblocked and you're going to take a shot. That's part of football. But what you cannot have is just more free shots at you because that's what increases your chances of getting injured in a sport that look at it all over the place, dude. They're getting injured all over. It's not a Dolphin thing. It's an NFL thing. It's not a Tua thing. It's an NFL thing. Just play smart. But let's stay away from the sensationalism. Okay? It's a lot easier to sell drama. You know? Like I got in the car and I'm listening to the boys on QAM, and Omar's like, well, we don't want to talk about the apocalypse that is coming. So it's like, so now it's sensationalistic to talk about the cap problems that are coming from the guy that said for years the cap didn't matter. I'm not doing that, dude. I'm not doing that. And I counter what Omar says with, actually, you can kick the can down a couple of years. So he's wrong about cap hell. You're going to be able to put it off for a couple of years. This window will be open, I believe, 2 more years, and then that's it. Then you're going to have some issues. But I'm the guy that's told you the cap actually counts, unlike my man Omar. I love Omar, but see, those are the sensationalistic things that I never do because you don't have to. It's always going to show up on its own. I don't need to create any kind of drama or sensationalism. You know what I'm saying? Now, the other thing that I want to talk about is I told you that you're gonna have balance now, right? That I think the best of the defense is coming, and then now you got a Chan back, and I think you'll be fine today, even with those guards, overall. But I think moving on, you're gonna have balance, right? Well, one of the reasons that it's so obvious to say that we're all happy that a Chan is back because he adds something to it. Mostert is a little banged up going into this week. And we'll get into some of those injuries also, because I'm not convinced that they're as bad as they make them out to be, but we'll get into that in a minute. But first of all, River Craycraft is coming back. And one of the things that I love about what River brings to the table and how much he's grown on all of us since he got here. Because when we looked at Craycraft and dude, what's the name of the guy that went to the Bills? The other San Fran guy that came here. Oh, damn it. Anyway, you know who I'm talking about. But they knew the system right away, and they were able to add something. And what I love about Craycraft is that you've got two monsters in Tyreek and Waddle, right? But that third guy has kind of been a revolving door. And you'll get something out of Berrios. Today he's inactive. You'll get something out of Sed and all of that. But Craycraft is the one guy. Sherfield, thank you. Trent Sherfield, thank you very much. But Craycraft is the one guy over Berrios, over Cedric, over everybody, that he knows the playbook to a T, is on the same page as Tua, is an exceptional blocker out there, so he helps your running game on top of all of that. He just brings a complete receiver. So as I tell you that you're going to have more balance and things are going to calm down a little bit, overall that maybe one side of the ball has to carry something more than somebody else, I think Craycraft brings a nice balance to your passing game, to your running game. He brings some balance to Tua's life because now he can count on a guy that, unlike Cedric Wilson, did not read the hot read the right way 2 weeks ago. He would have read that hot read and he would have caught the ball. And things could have been different. So these are things that they're nuances to the game, but in the big picture, they make a huge difference. It's a huge difference knowing that receiver is on the exact same page as Tua. It's comforting that whatever the coach calls, that guy knows it inside and out and he runs it precisely. It's also important that when the running back gets to the second level, there are people to help him continue his charge, and there's River Craycraft. And I think even though Berrios not playing today, whoever else is there, okay, even Robbie Chosen got activated. But with Cedric and everybody else, it kind of lets them settle in and be more complementary. And maybe that's where they're all better suited also, to be complementary and to be in specific roles. Whereas Craycraft can fill many roles and do it with precision and do it with effectiveness that you need. So I really think that the Craycraft move today actually brings a lot of balance to the passing game, and it helps everybody from coach to quarterback to the entire offense overall. Really love the Craycraft move, to be quite honest. Do want to remind you about Welton Rayom, proud sponsors of our program. And folks, when we talk about a law office that's been here 62 years of experience, bankruptcy, homeowner property damage, and look, man, we had a lot of water over the last couple of days. If you've got water damage, before you call the insurance company, you call Welton Rayom. They have their own adjusters because, the insurance companies are going to send their adjusters, and their adjusters are working for them, not for you. They're not looking out for what's best for you. They're looking out for what's best for the insurance companies. Okay, that's the way things go. condo damage, criminal defense, business owner claims, commercial litigation, personal injury. Listen, even if you don't know if you have a case, the consultation is completely free. Save this phone number on your cell phone because you never know when you're going to need it. 954-966-4646. That's 954-966-4646 for Welt and Rail. All right. Aaron Rodgers is eyeing a December return. Yeah, that's nice. I laugh at that. I think that's absolutely hilarious that he thinks he's going to return to a bad O-line and a 40-year-old man. I can't wait till he has to try. I'm not wishing injury on anybody, dude. Not a Jet player, not a Bills player, not a Pats player. And I hate those teams. I'm not that guy. I've never been that guy. I don't wish injuries on people. That's just no. I'd rather your team be healthy. I want the Dolphins to beat your ass healthy. I don't like excuses. But either way, rooting for somebody to be injured is crap. But I think if he comes back early, he's just coming back to rip it again and then put next year in danger, which again would be so Jets, and I'll be laughing my ass off. That's all. That's the way I look at it. The first time that 40-year-old has to get away from the pass rush, which will be on the first or second down because that offensive line is terrible, he's going to blow that ligament away. It'll re-tear again. But, hey, man, he's Mr. Magic. Let's see. River Craycraft is sneaky underrated. I agree, Joseph. It would be wild to have Tyreek return punts. Yeah, that's only going to happen like in desperation situations, in a playoff game, in a deciding moment, a fourth quarter, something. Yeah, I could see something like that, but I don't think that that's ever going to be something that's normal, not with the kind of workload that he has at this point in time. Big O, if the window closes soon, how did the Patriots keep their window open so long? They were able to go on the cheap a lot of ways. Remember, they didn't spend a lot of money on wide receivers and stuff like that. And Brady also didn't take the max until towards the end. So the Giselle money kind of, not everybody's married to a model that's making $150 million a year. So you don't have to take as much money. So they were able to kind of keep it going. And then Brady was the ultimate eraser, dude. He was, look at it now. They don't even come close to the kind of success they used to have with Brady. Why do Hall of Fame Green Bay quarterbacks go to the Jets to die? I think it's a law now. I think that's what it is. It wasn't around for the Bart Starr days, but since Brett Favre, yeah, it looks like it's a law now. They're what?
So what are the Jets going to do in the future? Because Jordan Love sure as hell ain't going to the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, no. Yeah. But the Jets can have Jordan Love if they want. I mean, that's, why not? I mean, the Jets really should sign Jordan Love. They should try to trade for him this offseason. That would be good. I already said it, bro. 27-9 is my score. HN, Craycraft, Williams, Elliott, Ramsey, all healthy. Only missing Hunt and Wynn will be a bloodbath. Yep. Smythe out sucks. He's security blanket for Tua. Smythe has been missing blocks lately, my brother. I'm a little disappointed in Smythe lately, to be quite honest. Big O, do you think Chris Greer dropped the ball in the tight end room this year? Not bashing him. He did a great job in staffing, but we could have used some talent there. Do you listen to the show? I gave you guys the nuggets that nobody gives you pretty much anywhere in town. Doesn't matter the station, the platform, or whatever, or writer. They had somebody targeted, but didn't land to them, bro. He's playing in Detroit right now. That's why they took Cam Smith, because Laporta was gone. At least that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. My stories aren't off. So there was a plan, but, you can't fill every need, my man. Did you count on a Chan to be what he is? Just wondering. I mean, we gotta slow down, relax. You don't fill every need and every void that's out there. So they do have the Julian Hill kid that's kind of a project. I like him, actually, but he hasn't really done well so far. You know what I'm saying? But they had a plan. It's just they targeted last year. Who was the name of the guy from the Raiders that went to the Giants? Waller. They targeted him, and they couldn't get him. They targeted Laporta, and they couldn't get him. There's a plan in place. These people aren't idiots. They know what they're doing. So they wanted Laporta. How's he doing? Kicking ass, right? So I guess their eye for talent is pretty good. But, if they couldn't get Laporta, I guess that nobody really satisfied them there outside of that guy, from what I'm told. So there you go. So where is Cam Smith? They don't need him right now, bro. He's young and he's developing. Same as he's the same thing as where's Pat Surtain. But Jules, I don't expect a lot of fans to have perspective. I expect fans to be fanatical and think like fans and not have any common sense. And so Cam Smith's struggles are nothing new in the NFL, just like Pat Surtain couldn't find his way on the field much in the first year. But, of course, you're going to leave that out and conveniently, but that's all right. It's all good, bro. We'll give you perspective here. We'll bring you down to, reality. And the reality is Cam Smith is a guy for the future, for next year, not for this year. You do know that, right? The idea is to have Nick Needham. The idea is to have Kader Kohu. The idea is to have Jalen Ramsey. The idea is to have X. That's the idea, is to have those guys running it. Cam Smith is the plan for next year, not the plan for this year. Okay? That's it wasn't, you weren't drafting the second round pick to throw him into the fire right now, Jules. Let's be honest. That is a foresight pick. That, hey, we got to, teach him the ways of the world. He's a Padawan right now. We'll make him a Jedi by next year when we got to part ways with X. And then they'll draft another guy down the line to replace Ramsey in 2 or 3 years. Because I think Ramsey will be here 3 years. I think in the third year is when you'll see his last year, and then so they'll either draft somebody next year or the year after, probably, to then groom to replace Ramsey. Okay? The idea was Noah for Byron Jones, but that didn't work out. So now Kohu's been the guy that they were able to find in between to kind of help out. But if we're really going to look at it the way it is, Cam is for next year. It wasn't for this year. But, hey, let's leave the facts out. Let's not really talk about what's actually really happening. Let's create some kind of controversy where there isn't one. Let's see. Sam Madison didn't see the field. No, yeah, he did. Yeah, well, I mean, you're right. It was later, but he saw it way earlier than Pat Surtain. Surtain really, I covered it. I was a beat guy in those days. Surtain, it took him a little while, and Madison caught on a lot quicker. But that happens. But in those days, they needed them. You didn't draft Cam Smith with the fact that you need him this year. You already have Needham. Let's see. Cam Smith not playing has people thinking Noah Igbenogany all over again. I see where people are worrisome about the pick, but I also understand, like you said, Pat Surtain, enough said. It happens, man. And not everybody makes the same transition right away. You got to give them some time. Lots of guys take time to develop. I hope Cam Smith is awesome long term. I just hope he gets some playing time this year before he gets thrown to the Wolves next year. He'll get some, but it's not a lot. It's a deep secondary right now, you know? So we've got Liam Eichenberg, Connor Williams, and Lester Cotton today, guards and center. You know who's on the other side of the ball there, Sean? John Jenkins. Former Miami Dolphin, John Jenkins, is in there along with Bilal Nicholas. Malik Reed and Tyree Wilson are the guys you're going to have to deal with inside. Teron Armstead will be dealing with Malcolm Kuntz and the Austin Jackson-Max Crosby matchup. How about that, dude? Think about that. If I tell you Austin Jackson, Max Crosby last year, Austin Jackson, Max Crosby 2 years ago, Austin Jackson, Max Crosby 3 years ago, you're shitting bricks. Okay? You're shitting so many bricks, you can make chimneys. Right? Now, I'm kind of excited for the matchup because I'm excited with Austin's progress. And I want to see how he does against better competition. And it's not like he hasn't faced some pretty good ones already in the last couple of weeks. You know what I'm saying? So it's actually really cool to see the development of Austin Jackson and then watch him against a maniac like Max Crosby a lot today. I think that is actually really, really cool. So we'll see what Eichenberg and Cotton do at guard and handling, obviously, the big guys in the middle. And I would imagine that Connor's going to help out in some of the double teaming, overall. But I'm kind of excited to see that. What else? Oh, yeah. Injury-wise, I wanted to get into because there's a bunch of guys on the injured list. I don't know how many of you are keeping up with it overall, but just to kind of keep you in the loop, although the one thing that I kind of find interesting, okay, so Claypool with the knee surgery, he's out. Robert Hunt also out. Robert Jones out. Achane is back now, or Achan is back, and he had limited practice throughout the week. I think some of this limited practice is very San Francisco 49er-ish under Bill Walsh. That in the second half of the season, you hit less and less and less, and you have more type of walkthroughs because you're saving the body. Okay? Braxton Berrios did not practice on Wednesday and then limited practice, and he's out. Right? Alec Ingold did not practice on Wednesday, but then had limited practices the rest of the week, and he's also he's playing. By the way, Ingold, he's active. Smythe was limited throughout the week and then not playing today. Armstead limited throughout the week, but again, I don't think that's for him. I think that's just who he is. Hell, last year wasn't even limited. He wouldn't even practice. Okay, then Tyreek Hill, the Wednesday and Thursday no practice, and then limited practice on Friday. Raheem Mostert, limited practice throughout the week. And so I think there's a little bit of also saving these guys too. Are they banged up? Sure. Do they have some wear and tear? Yeah. Some of them do. Are they dealing with injuries? Yeah. But I think when you talk about Tyreek, when you talk about Armstead and Mostert, these are guys that have a lot of wear and tear, a lot of mileage. And I think there's a little bit of a strategy with some of these guys, and it's smart strategy to kind of pace them a little bit more. And I'm wondering, I'd have to go back, and I don't know if I can find these exactly, for throughout the entire week, the practice schedules, but I'm wondering in the second half, was he doing some of this? Is it a trend? Because in a way, I know they have some injuries. I know some of the guys are inactive that were kind of limited, But I also wonder when I look at Tyreek, Teron, and Mostert, these are guys that are also, and the media only gets to see 15 minutes, the stretching. So they can play any part they want there too. You know what I'm saying? Yes, sir.
And then also with Tyreek more than anybody else, though, because of his the quick twitch fibers, the heat here, you see him all the time having to get IVs.
Right.
And again, as you said, you're saving them. I know Armstead and them are different, but for Tyreek, I wonder how much of it too is just the strain on his body for the IVs and everything else that he has to go through.
Definitely, you got to pace him. You got to pace him because he easily could tear something. The good thing about Tyreek is he's very disciplined about it. Like he knows exactly when it's time. Like, yo, bro, I'm a little dehydrated here. I need to before I get.
And he's not afraid to say something. I know my body. That's the thing. He's very confident that he knows his body.
And I love how he plays.
Yes.
He doesn't take hits.
No, he gets out of bounds.
He does not take hits. I talk about this all the time. He plays a lot like Marvin Harrison. And that's why Marvin Harrison played so long. And he was a small guy. Go watch Marvin Harrison. Go watch highlights. You'll see him slide down. You'll see him kneel down. You'll see him run out of bounds. You'll see Marvin Harrison never took hits. He saw you were coming. He wasn't going to go fight for an extra yard or two and break tackle. No. He was fine just taking a knee. He was fine running right out of bounds. He was not going to give you a free shot. He was going to line up for the next play and burn your ass again. He wasn't going to be Superman or anything. He was really smart. And I give Tyreek, my God, I give him a lot of credit. Tua kind of is playing the way Tyreek plays. And to me, I say this all the time. We laugh at Ted Ginn, but the reason why he played so long in his career is because he played smart, dude. He played smart.
I think Tyreek got into Tua a little bit too, just because he had played with Mahomes. Mahomes, again, for all the craziness he does, he doesn't take on hits. He gets down, So I'm wondering if Tyreek also, again, I know everything plays into it, the concussions, everything else, but I wonder, Tyreek and playing with Mahomes and getting in with Tua and going, look, you've got everything. You just need to stay on the field.
I'm sure the coaches tell him all the time, dude. I'm sure the coaches are telling him, dude, why are you taking this shot? We need you in the next play. We need you for the next game. We need you for the next month. We need you for the season. Why are you doing stupid shit like this? I'm sure they're telling them, all players are just taking unnecessary. This is not a game where you take unnecessary hits. You will not have a long career if you're going to take on unnecessary hits. The other thing in this game, you're facing some talent, right? Josh Jacobs is a good running back, although he doesn't have a great average. Jacoby Myers is a nice receiver. Hunter Renfro's a nice receiver. Michael Mayer, all right, tight end. Devontae Adams, a beast. Yeah and no. Yeah, he's a beast if he has a quarterback. Do you know he has 659 yards receiving? So a lot of you are like, well, there's, 8 more games left. 659. He's well on his way for 1,000 yards. Yeah. Now, week 3 against Pittsburgh, he had 172 yards out of his 659. Do you know what he had last week? 86 against the Jets. You know what he had the week before? 34 against the Giants. You know what he had the week before against Detroit? 11. Chicago, 57. New England, 29. Green Bay, 45. The Chargers, 75. Oh, by the way, Devontae Adams doesn't have a touchdown in 7 weeks. You're facing Aiden O'Connell. And it doesn't matter if it's Jimmy Garoppolo or Aiden O'Connell. This is one of the worst offenses in the NFL. Treat them like what they are. get after Aiden O'Connell and give him give him the pressure, make his life hell, because there's no reason that Davante Adams, Jacoby Myers, or any of these guys should be killing you. And you've got to focus on Josh Jacobs. What you cannot allow is the Raiders to punch you in the mouth and shove the ball down your throat, because that will be Aiden O'Connell's best friend. If all of a sudden your linebackers have to worry about the running game, then that's going to create some opportunities for Aiden O'Connell, the aforementioned, of course, wide receiver Davante Adams and Jacoby Myers and others. So today, continue making Davante Adams not matter. You've got the corners, you've got an elite safety, you've got everything to create havoc for the Las Vegas Raiders. So go do it, man. And while I respect the hell out of Davante Adams, I don't in this offense with that quarterback. Make sure you take care of business. True Fin Fan says, you guys enjoy the show yet? Half the likes, not cool, man. There you go. Hit it, baby. We got over 300 people watching. Let's go, man. Let's get the likes over 300 right now. If everybody hits the likes, that thing would explode up to 300 right now. I'd love to see the counter go all the way up. Come on. I got the sound and everything. Come on. Let's go. Appreciate all of you out there. Let's see. What else do we have? Offer to make the like button a delicious bologna sandwich, but use Elmer's instead of mayo. 27-17, Phinz jump out early. Let's see. Smoking my medicinal pre-roll after my 3 pregame shots of Old Forster. I'm about to be flying high again, like when I visit Clover Grill in Bourbon Street. Nice. Nice. Bringing back the Clover Grill. I got to take the wife one day to the Clover Grill. But we both got to show up drunk, because, I mean, that's the only way, Bourbon Street. We got to. I know if I give the wife just one hurricane, just one, or one grenade, that's it. She'll need the Clover Grill right away to get that burger and straighten herself out. That's for damn sure. All right, so I got 27-9 Dolphins. I am very positive about this game today. I'm very positive about the outcome for the rest of the season. I just really think they've turned the corner. Safed Dean and David Furonis are going to join us post-game. As always, we'll have Tua's comments. We'll have Coach McDaniel's comments after the game for you. So we'll have those press conferences and any breaking news. And if there's anything else that we can unearth for you, we will throughout. Although I got to say, dude, it is a little depressing this week because they did end up cutting Jake. We've got the funk because we don't have the funk now anymore. We lost Jake Funk. That's not cool. We no longer have the funk. Funk is kind of important, folks. You want to get a little funky. Remember, walk-ons here in Kendall. We'll be out here all afternoon. We got giveaways at the end of every quarter, at halftime, and at the 2-minute warning. Got all kinds of prizes here. You collect the raffle tickets all throughout, and we will be giving them away. We thank all of our friends at Perdomo Cigars, Nick Perdomo, Nick Jr., everybody, Arthur, all the amazing people out there, Billy Perdomo, great family, Janine, everybody. They're just absolutely awesome. And we thank, of course, Brett, Jeff, all the great people out there at Caneswear. They gave us some stuff. Got some Big O T-shirts. I'm wearing one today. I'm wearing the orange one. So all of that. We got that going on. And remember, Caneswear, use our code BIG-O10 so you can get 10% off whether you go online. And remember, when you go online, you purchase over $99, you'll get free shipping. And then if you use our code, you're also going to get 10% off. Come on, dude. Free shipping and 10% off. Go to caneswear.com there. And if you go in person, use our code BIG-O10 and you will get 10% off. We are going to be on post-game the second the game ends. When it ends, we will start and we will talk about this glorious win by the Miami Dolphins against the Las Vegas Raiders. But we appreciate the Vegas Raiders. Why? Vegas is where we'll be in February when the Dolphins win the Super Bowl. So we appreciate you all out there for going to Vegas and creating that opportunity for Sean and myself to cover the Miami Dolphins winning a Super Bowl in Vegas, baby. Doesn't get better than that. Miami Dolphins 27, Raiders 9. We shall see you for the EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins post-game show in a couple of hours. You be good out there.
This has been the EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins pregame show on the Sports Talk 305 network. The show is mastered by Sean Stanley and Chad Show. From home to kitchen to bathroom additions and remodelings, get in contact with one of the best contractors in the business. Call Eric at EJDconstruction.com, 305-433-4843. Please subscribe to our platform by searching Big O Radio Show on all digital avenues. We'll be back with a complete wrap-up of the game once the last second ticks off the clock. Thank you for your support and enjoy Dolphins football.